Hello everyone and welcome back to COS. Today we are in Mexico for the Mexican Grand Prix, and here in EU3 we do have quite a few reserves for tonight. Quite a few from EU4. I'm not sure if Matt is in the VC yet, um, but I think he's gone back to his ways of being late. So tonight we are gonna look for some drivers to get out early because it's good to have a bank around here. Quite a tricky track, um, especially with the middle sector. So we got Aston from EU4 going out first, but he's letting his teammate by in Nico. So Nico will be the first guy on a lap. So wait a second. I will need to invite Matty to the VC again. 1 second, guys. Okay. Hopefully it should be good now. Sorry for the inconvenience. But hopefully no one has started a lap. Yep, no they haven't. So quite a few drivers out on track now. It is quite busy in the first sector as quite a few people are going through that, warming up their tires. We are following Nico, and he will now be heading through the final corner, starting the lap ERS on hot lap mode, and I will take you through a lap on Mexico City. So heading down, start finish straight, you will hit quite high kilometers per hour in top speed, as it is less draggy here in Mexico. Quite high up in the sky we are. So through the first chicanes, quite difficult. You have to maximize all of them. Now you are gonna finish sector 1, heading into sector 2. It is purple, as he is the first guy out on track. This section right here can catch quite a few people out. Quite an easy place to invalidate, especially when you are pushing the limits of the car. Heading into the SS now, we get a beautiful camera angle as we can see the car working with the downforce through the S section into another DRS zone, as we have an AlphaTauri up ahead. Purple sector 2 because he is the first one out. Heading into the hairpin now. Quite a tricky corner on dying tires into the final corner now. Early apex. Get the traction. A bit loose on the rear. 16.7 from Nico. Also having the Zula on a lap. He has been quite quick in his time in EU3, so Nisula almost losing it on the exit. As I said, quite a tricky section, and I am not sure if he's pushing. I think he is, as we see a Haas off track. So heading into sector 3, he will be trying to push for every inch. We have Stolsho, who is in just behind Nico. Nisula now heading through the final corner of the track. He will be heading up to the line now, and it will be a 17.2, so he did lose quite a bit of time in the middle sector. And we have both Williams quite far down. Who do we have out on a lap? I think Ashton Army is out on a lap. Or is he? No. No battery usage as Almanac heads through the final corner. He will be heading up to the line now, and it will be a 17.0, so it's quite close between the top 2 and top 4. So just over a tenth between them. We have Sid from EU4 in P6, just behind the Zula. So that's not a bad lap. We have Racer heading through sector 2 now. Quite a bit of traffic up ahead, so the Ferrari will try and pick his way through the traffic as they will move out the way, maximize the corner entry, then maximize the curb usage through here. Can lose the rear on the curbs, so heading into sector 3 now. We are purple on the dash, and it is gonna be... Oh, Sid's crashed out. As I said, it is a corner where you can lose the rear, and Sid has done that, and he's into the barrier. So heading up to the line now, it will be a 17.1, so quite close to everyone else. Kaxel, who does have his birthday tomorrow, will be heading up to the line now out of turn. I forgot the number of the turn, but it is into P3 for Kaxel, just behind Still Show. Piney Penguin has invalidated his lap, so he won't be going. Vicey Boy now into sector 2 is on a lap. He will have a Ferrari up ahead, who I think that is Lanky. I'm not sure. Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure it is Lanky. So he gets off track. So Vicey Boy can take these corners flat out. Bit of a lift into here, as you want to get the front turned in. Then it's down to a hard braking zone, 4th or 3rd gear. Oh, a lot of inside curb for Vicey there. Heading into the hairpin. It's quite tricky to get the car turned here, as the cars are so big now. Through the final corner, it's up to the line, and he is not taking it close, and it's a 17.8 for Vicey in the Alfa Romeo. So it wasn't Lanky, it was Racer. But Lanky has started his lap. He will now be heading through sector 2. Double apex right-hander will go on board through here with Lanky. 5th gear up into 6th gear. Nisula's got a 5-second grip penalty, or apex missed for Lanky there. Bit of a late turn in. Heading into sector 3 now, late braking. 4th gear for Lanky. 2nd gear doesn't hook the inside curb, but as you keep up the minimum speed, it doesn't matter. Now through final corner, hits the inside curb and sets the car a tiny bit. Heading up to the line, it will be a 17.5 for Lanky. So, hopefully, oh, Matty is here. Yes, but he's muted. So, Nico is on a lap, just about down on his time through sector 1, heading in through sector 2 now, up to the sector 3 split. He's got a Harsh in front who isn't on a lap. It is Purple. He's tiny bit up on his time. So can he improve through the final sector? It does look quite nice so far, maximizing his entry. And it will be an improvement by just under a 10th. Not even just under it. It's quite a bit. That's alright, Matty.
Hello! Yeah, it's working.
He's here.
That's literally taken 3 minutes for me to transfer over there. That's horrendous. Don't know what's happening today. My phone doesn't like mobile data or anything at the moment, which is not ideal. Discord also feels a little bit slow, but I don't know if that was just me or anybody else. Yeah, all good. 19 people in. There's a few people I'll be telling off after the race, making my life miserable and not easy. Completely ignored the message I sent out earlier today. Thanks, guys. But other than that, all good. All good.
Yep, definitely all good. I don't know if you've done Mexico yet this game, because not many leagues have done Mexico this game, because it's quite a horrible track this game.
The last time I saw Mexico run anywhere where I watched it, you were there that weekend, and I'll leave it at that. That's the last time I've seen it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I got taken out on purpose.
24-hour weekend that was, and that's the last time I've seen it. But yeah, it's not one that's being used.
Yep,
but
definitely isn't.
I think because setup round here is a massive struggle. Because if you go high downforce, you can really benefit and take loads of time out of sector 2. Like we're talking 8, 9, 10, like 8, 9 tenths, maybe a second. But then obviously you massively get compromised going down the big long straight which is effectively what Sector 1 is. So I think it's because setups around here is very, very tricky. But we'll see who's going to be like a boat or who's going to be like an absolute rocket when we come to race time in just over 6 minutes' time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, high downforce is usually the way to go around here, just because there's such low grip anyway. But if you can make the low downforce work, you will have an advantage going into the race. Um, so it's all about knowing your limits. And we have Racer going into second. Quite a few people are improving. But it is quite close in the top 7, even the top 8. It's 3.5 tenths to first.
No one currently out on a lap, apart from possibly Wisey Boy, who's opening up a lap round the Mexico Grand Prix circuit. I can't pronounce it by its proper name because I'm terrible, and I don't want to butcher it in front of everybody.
Yes, indeed. Heading into turn 4 now. It is quite a difficult corner. If it's a purple sector 1, he's a 10th up. Heading into turn 5, into double apex of turn 6 and 7. Very easy to lose the car there, as you have to rotate the car and get on throttle at the same time. Turn 8. And the SS saw Sid lose the rear because he was a bit happy on the throttle going into the pits. So it's purple sector 2 as well for Vicey. That's not bad. So maybe he can fix his last sector and maybe put it into the top 10, because it seems like that's where he lost his time last time around, and it will be a 17-0.
17-0, that's good. That's only put him 8th though. That, yeah, as you said, that's how close the front of the grid will be. We have quite a few reserves in this evening. Piney Penguin is in for Andre, who said he did his attendance, but it's not shown up. But there's not much I can do about that. Limits is a no-show, so he's going to get a full stern talking to. Donny was supposed to be in the other Mercedes alongside Isaac, but again, also not done his attendance, considering he was begging for me to give him a seat. So D Summers is in that one. Ruash and Army is in the Red Bull because Not Ras is here. He did his attendance saying that he wasn't going to be here, which he's in my good books. I've just dropped you off my shelf, Paco. Sorry. Lanky's Lanky's still there. Connor is in the McLaren alongside Stelcho because Remy, who's going to take that seat full time, isn't back yet from his vacation, but will return next week. I think I've pretty much covered everybody, hopefully, in that segment. But yeah, on to the final runs then. 3 minutes left of the session. Can anybody knock Nico down from his perch, who has been very good in qualifying the last few weeks?
Yeah, he's been really good in EU2 as well.
Annoyingly.
Yeah, takes another point off you. So Milosh through sector 1 into sector 2. He's down, and his sector time is quite slow in the first sector, so I think he might run quite high downforce, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it will help you protect your tires, and you won't have that bit of that big of a struggle through the race, because yeah, it's quite easy to lose it in the race through the middle sector.
Let's see what Summers does. I think he's pushing. Ty behind him isn't, so that'd be interesting. He is marginally up. So just the last stadium section to go. last couple of corners of this 17 corner track. Easy on the throttle and try not to spin up the rears. And is there a marginal improvement? Yes, there is. He found pretty much 3 tenths in that final sector, so he puts himself up to 10th.
It's not a bad lap for an EU4 driver.
No, I'm surprised I'm not seeing any teammate action here. No one using a tow.
Nope. So Ty is on a lap in the Williams. He's heading through the first sector now, and he's lost the rear there. Oh my god. So Millage has retired in the pits. Good evening to you, Tom. So, we have Nico on a lap. He's gonna be pushing flat out this time because people are catching up to him. So it will be he will need to improve to keep that P1, I think. And he's invalidated on the exit of turn 3. So he isn't gonna improve as he cannot make it round for another lap, I think.
No, that is qualifying done. Another a minute to go. That would be qualifying done. Oh, Monster's just run wide. Through the last corner. Just a lot of people pushing the boundaries of the circuit in these final runs. So Nico's invalidated. The person eyeing up that pole position hasn't invalidated. Nearly directing behind him on the road. Lewis is coming through sector 2. And he is marginally up. So he needs to find just that little bit more, and it could be fairly close. Oh, a little bit twitchy and maybe a little bit wide there through the penultimate corner, round the last corner. I'm pretty sure he just touched the wall there. No DRS. Oh, he's managed to find it. He's found a 10th in that last sector, go to pole. Isaac, meanwhile, was a 10th and a half, or 3/4 up in the first sector you saw on your screen in front of you. Thank you, Hako. He's now 2 tenths up. So this will put him in a 1:16.6 as well.
And not only that, but he can even go faster than that because the first sector is where you can find a lot of time, and still should goes to the top right now. And will Isaac improve? No, he won't. He won't go to P2. So still should pull that lap off the back.
Hold the phone. Nico has gone for it with no ERS and no fuel. He's half a tenth away. He was a 10th up. He may not need it too much through the last stadium section. But can he keep that Red Bull under control? Wisey Boy went to 5th, by the way, on his last run. And Nico goes.
He improves, but
he did
only just.
Yeah, he improved his time, but not position.
Oh, Ty isn't on a lap, so he's probably gonna pit. So this is your starting grid. Quite surprised I didn't see an improvement from Kaxu. He was up at the front to start quali. He must have made a mistake on his last run. And both Williams down at the back again. They gotta work on that quali pace.
Often have we seen that combination of drivers at the back, the Williams and Dan. And then how often do we say, oh look, they've gained like 8 places in like the first 3 laps because everybody else has taken each other out and they've just picked their way through.
Yeah, and then Robs get damaged later on in the race. Just like to destroy his own race, that guy. So hopefully I will be able to control the new stuff with the safety car and such correctly. Should have it set up. So Nisula 5-second grid penalty drop, so he will go down to P12, Falanki up to P11. and everyone else moves up a place, but Sergio is on pole, and it's Isaac right behind. Then it's Racer, Nico, Vaisi, great lap by him in the end. Milosh, Nisula will be moving down to P12, and then it's Almanac, Caxel, Summers. Good time from him, considering I think he was he at the top in EU4. I didn't see, but
I
it
didn't
is a
watch
good
it
time.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Sorry,
neither did I.
I was constructing a fajita wrap. Bear with me.
Fair
I'm
enough.
getting it ready for. I'm getting it ready for when we have a safety car period. So I'm having my dinner at the same time. So it's not commitment.
Gotta love the commitment. So, as everyone will be picking the tire strategy, I mean, a double pit stop won't work well around here if there isn't a safety car. But if there is a safety car, you can easily make it work because the tires, when they drop off, are quite slow.
Yeah, it's not far-fetched seeing a two-stop round here, but you do need certain things to go your way. We'd like to also know your race prediction. Get your race predictions in the chat. I see some people in there.
So,
fingers crossed. A safe turn one. Over to you, Hacker.
yes, 5 lights, and they are out for me, but they aren't out for drivers, and we are now heading it down towards the straight. It is quite a long straight, so a good start is necessary for Stelzio. He's covering up the inside. Isaac behind will be under threat from Nico. Nico's got a great start. He's ahead of Racer, and we see a Haas. And he's gone straight on.
Good thing it's ghosting this season and not.
So.
Could you imagine that if we didn't have ghosting on?
Yep. And Isula's got two. He's got 2 5-second penalties. So that isn't the best way to start.
That looks like there was a pinch and somebody didn't realise where somebody was, and there was another car on the inside. From what I saw, this is where we need Brooksy with the hit us with that replay, and we haven't done it.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot to do the replay.
Don't worry about it. So this gives us time. Virtual safety car, not an actual safety car. Stelzio is on the soft tyre, and so is Ty. Other than that, everybody else is on the mediums, apart from Dan and Lewis. What a surprise. And Nasu's got 10 seconds worth of penalties because he's got 2 severe collisions already. So that's going to be, well, impacting his race. We are green once again. Nobody sped through under the VSC, which is good. There's a switch down at AlphaTauri, and we can carry on our way. And the McLaren of Cordo pretty much hit the wall. Sid is in the pits, and so is Ty.
Yep, Nisula trying to make a move on Lanky on the straight. Nisula looks to have great line speed, so he will now be trying to get into the top 10. Even though he's got those penalties, he can most likely get some of them removed.
Well, he pits, he won't be able to.
That is true. So Nico quite close behind Racer. Racer, who is on the hards, is sticking quite close to Isaac, and Isaac is quite close to Stelzio, even though Stelzio is on the softs. The softs do have quite a big of a pace advantage, but they drop off really quickly by lap 4 or 5. So he will just try and save the tires most likely. Weisberg already with a 3-second time penalty. Penny Penguin has had an incident. He has spun, and he's now fighting Dan Robbo. He's on the inside.
He's fighting Dan big time as well.
He's
Dan's
pushing
being put up against the wall.
Bit of hard racing there, and they will both use their ERS, and they attack the McLaren? No, I don't think so. But Rob is attacking Lanky. He's on the outside, and he will now have the inside, and he is up ahead into P11. So he is well. Oh, and he's gone off track. Naughty, naughty boy.
Yeah, we got a gap. D Summers down in 9th place. That's our first gap. I'm not surprised. Back end of that Mercedes looks very tail happy already. So this could be a long race if that continues to go. Nasula down the inside will just ease him out of space there. And these guys have got to be careful not to get dropped off too early.
Yeah.
From everybody else.
Great move by Nasula there. Putting his car up alongside. Can't really just push him into what's it called, the sausage curb, because then he will spin you out as well.
Dan is past Connor into the stadium section. DRS will be enabled, I believe, this time around. He says.
Oh,
it is, and he's going to be over the back of the Haas. Dispatches of it. Thank you very much, and we'll move on to the next victim. Lanky down the inside of Rob once again. Pretty sure we saw this last time around, and Lanky runs it deep. Rob's going to try and go around the outside, but will not get any dosage of DRS. Watch out for Sid, by the way. He's on the medium tire.
Yep, he had to pit.
Be on the move.
Piney and Corner fighting, so the Haas does have some pace, and Corner is dropping places.
Piney's actually, he's lost 2 positions. I lost one to Dan and Connor. I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't got any damage. Having said that, that Haas looks a handful through the air section, so it looks like it's overheated the tyres already, which is a bit concerning on those.
Yep, and Nico is right behind Isaac going onto the straight, and he will have quite a decent toe, and he will gain quite a bit on the Mercedes, but the Mercedes will gain on the McLaren, and it will might even go 3 wide into turn 1. No, it won't. But Isaac.
Almanac of fighting as well, and Stelcher going for the lead. Oh, this is all very close, Hacko.
Yes, it is.
Oh, contact! Monson Almanac.
And Nico getting through as well. Great move by Nico, getting into P.
Oh, D Summers coming back at Nasula, who chops in front of him.
Caxel and Vicey fighting again. They have dropped off from the top 4.
Yeah, Caxel's struggling. He's lost a second and a half on this lap alone, and Wiseboy knows at this point in the race he is a little bit quicker than that AlphaTauri in front. Penalties are coming in left, right, and centre. Why am I not surprised? It's Mexico after all. Another 3 seconds goes to D Summers' way. This time, Lanky's managed to catch up to these guys after dispatching of Rob.
Definitely, and Isaac is stretching the field a bit in the top group. Stelcher looks to be struggling on those softs, so as I said, the softs die off at lap 5 or so. So those tires will be cooked, maybe. Will Nico go for the move into turn 1? No, he won't. He gets back in line, and Almanac maybe trying to get past Caxton. No, he won't go for it, but Viceboy is ahead. So it's all about staying in line for now, because ERS is really important around here, and it isn't the easiest to save. So Racer goes for the move, and Stelcher has made a mistake, I think, coming out of turn 3, and Racer is now into the top 3. And Lanky getting past the Summers as well. He will be looking to catch up to Nasula ahead, who is trying to get within the DRS of his teammate.
Yeah, it looks like guys outside the DRS window are really struggling to try and gain back on them. Some of these guys at the moment. We'll see what Lanky can do, because he's head to the front of this little train here.
Yeah.
Field is closing back up again. We've not seen anyone escape quite yet. Even Wisey Boy is just now holding that that gap between themselves and Stelcho. Be interesting to see what these two are going to work together or against each other. Looks like they're working against each other. And Nico slots in front of Isaac. That was very simple.
Caxel ahead of Viceboy as well. So everyone is staying in line mostly. Will Almanac maybe try and get ahead of Viceboy down this straight? No, he won't. And the two Astons fighting in the back. So Nisula is looking to get a move on with Munch, and he will go up the inside into the double apex right-hander. Will he make it stick? Yes, he will. Or maybe not. Is Munch fighting back on the inside? No, he won't. Great move by Nisula as well. Again, into the double apex right-hander.
Gonna have to work hard for it today. Hope you see a bit more racecraft from. Man, that's he's shown that he's quick, but we have said that it's the racing will to will where it has let him down in the past. Stelcho dropping off, which is allowing Caxel and Wiseboy to close in. So let's see, they are, yeah, they're looking like they're working together here. The Alfa Romeo and the Alpha Tauri. And Isaac and Nico aren't fighting too hard out front as well. So I think we've got some somewhat clever people working together. Dan's past Rob as well. So Rob will probably try and stick to the back of Dan and pull along. Oh, yeah, he's just picked up 2 warnings in 2 corners there. I'm not surprised there's 3 seconds. Sid has retired. Which would have been it's a bit of a shame. I would have liked to see where, if everyone would have pitted, where he would have been. I think he would have been a little bit closer to the points, but he had quite a few penalties already.
Yeah, that is a thing with this track. It's quite easy to pick up penalties. So Caxel's really close behind Vicey, but he won't send it into here because that's just big loss of time. So he will wait for the DRS onto the main straight to maybe try and catch up. Oh, he's hit Vicey Boy in the rear. And Stelcho is into the pits as those soft tires are dying. So he will drop down the field, but he will get some new tires on, and Cax will go for the move into turn 1, but so will Nico heading through turn 1, 2 and 3. Caxel is ahead, but these two are still fighting, and Isaac goes off track, and now it is a fight, and will Racer come out of top? He is gonna have the DRS, he's gonna be boxed in, so he won't be able to, but Isaac is on the inside. Will he make it stick? No, he won't, and it is Racer into second now, and YC and Caxel are fighting behind, and Caxel is off track. Almanac it's Almanac and YC Boy, not Caxel. Caxel has made a gap now with all that fighting behind.
Yeah, he lost, and I reckon there's a bit of damage somewhere, not visual, but Wisey Boy's a bit all over the place at the moment.
Yep.
That rear end of the Alfa Romeo looking a bit loose. Speaking of, Lanky is spinning.
And Nisula is ahead of Viceboy. He's now into P6.
Lanky, you were doing so well.
Yeah, it's again that middle sector. So Nisula ahead of Viceboy now. He will be trying to get ahead of Almanac down the straight, because Nisula does look to have quite a bit of pace in that Aston Martin, but he is blinking on the rear, and he will go up the inside, and he will have the outside for turn 2, and it's a great move again by Nisula.
This could be 3 wide and it's going to end in tears.
So 3 wide. No, it is just staying in line again. So a bit smart. And Viceboy getting tagged in the rear again. his rear is must have a price tag on it, since everyone likes to touch it.
Mm. Getting all loose. These guys have dropped off. Caxel's made a gap of nearly 3 seconds already, just over a lap and a bit. But he's 3.2 seconds off and out of this mini train out front, so it's going to be tough, but he's within touching distance of possibly performing an undercut if required. Then you've got Nasula all the way down to Mons, and then Dan's trying to close into this that quartet in front of him.
Yeah, still
Then D
show
Summers and Rob.
making the move on Lanky as well. So he's fighting his way back after his pit stop.
Yeah,
But he is
Stelzer
on the
currently
mediums.
20.2 seconds off the lead. Keep that in mind, people, because that can be very relevant towards the end of the race. Almanac has gone past Wisey Boy. And, well, he's not going to give it up. Mons is close in behind as well. So Nasuda has dropped these guys. And Rob has got ahead of D Summers, so he can continue his pursuit of climbing up the places with Dan at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talk about it every time, but Rob has gained so many positions so far. So, and Viceboy is really struggling through the middle sector. He's losing quite a bit to Almanac, and Almanac has almost closed in on Nisula as well. And he is within DRS now of Nisula, so maybe a bit of a mistake from Nisula there in the last sector.
We big Rob up and he gets the penalty. Interesting, I'm just looking at the times. Dan and Rob, even as they're making way through the field, are lapping at the same pace as the leaders. And
Yep.
Stelcho has got the gap down to 17.4 seconds already. So he's nearly gained 2.5 seconds in one lap. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he has gained 2.5 seconds in one lap.
Again, that's how important the DRS is. Not even the DRS, that's just the tires. I mean, I talked about it in quali. I'm pretty sure that the tires are quite. They wear quite a bit, and an undercut can be quite big.
Oh, and Rob's had a poor sector ones fighting with D Summers. Yeah, Stelcher's just a 20.1. Our leaders are currently doing 22.1, so it's 2 seconds a lap at the moment. We'll give it a few laps and he'll be closing right back into these guys.
Yeah, and he's even closing up to the guys up ahead who's fighting. So he will need to get very close and then get them both on the straight. That's an important thing to do. Racer has taken the lead. I don't know if I saw that on stream. I think I did. But he's on the hard tires and he's getting overtaken by Nico now. But still show already making the move on D Summers, and D Summers will make the move on Rob on the straight as well. So they will be 3 wide down the straight, and it will be side by side by the McLaren and the Mercedes into turn 1, but still should got the tires and yeah, the pace to get ahead of them.
I was about to say, I hope that Mercedes doesn't try and fight it, because it's probably not worth it. And he did a little bit, which compromised him onto the run down to turn 4. Oh, and he has gone deep. Rob could do a switch back here underneath into the double right-hander. He will get it done.
That's a great move by Rob.
Clever racing by Rob. And that's is a little bit of difference between EU3 and EU4. Some of the EU3 drivers, although not as quick, do think a few corners ahead rather than there. And now, gap to leader for Stelcho, 14.7 seconds. So we are cutting into that lead.
Yeah, he's doing really well on that strategy. Even though if there's a safety car now, he can easily make the moves work. We've seen that now. Even though he's got the tire advantage, he's got really good pace in general. He's already caught up to Dan.
I
So
don't think Dan will make it too difficult when that time comes. D Summers and Rob still fighting. This is costing Rob a bit because he was with Dan at one point.
yeah.
And now, yeah, because D Summers then gets a really poor exit out of 3 every single time he overtakes him.
Yeah, and now Rob will stick behind and wait for a mistake again so he can take front seat.
Yeah, he just needs to get 2 laps together. Just set him up, get close enough to him so you can get the move done into turn 1, and then use the DRS down turn 3 to turn 4 to get it sorted, and then have a good lap from there, and then you can finally get rid of
Show
this
down the inside into the stadium section. Pushes Dan a bit
I was going to
wide.
say Dan wasn't going to make it easy, but I don't think he would have expected it there.
Yeah, and then again, I mean, now Dan is gonna have the DRS down the straight. That's not the smartest place to make the move.
No, and I guarantee you after that move, he'll want that straight back as well. So here we go.
Yeah,
Alfa
does look to have great straight line speed, and then again the DRS, not even the DRS, but the slipstream will help quite a bit. Look at how close he is.
Yeah, don't get too close though. Yeah, that wasn't smart. I would have just waited, because now you're going to have to wait another lap, and the gap that you got it down to 14.2 is already back up to nearly 15 seconds.
Yep.
Got to play the long game.
That's again what we talked about. Thinking ahead a bit is always smart to do. But look at how close he is again. I mean, those tires really help him staying close, and he's gonna make the move again, I think. No, he's learned from his mistake this time around.
Patience.
Good to see. Oh, and he's hit the rear of Dan.
Patience. I can imagine what's going on in the Alfa Romeo driver's head at this point. He's just thinking, oh, big swermy. Now we get past him, but he made that a lot harder than what he needed to.
Yep, so could have been passed.
So the gap, Hacko, 15.7 seconds that was. So he lost a second and probably a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, he could have even gained 2 seconds, I think. Oh, and Isuda's got a 3 second.
Yeah, then he's fighting with Wisey Boy. It was getting a pretty frenetic.
Yeah. So
On
Rob pitting, Lanky pitting, and Piney pitting. So pit stops are coming in now. 20 laps remaining.
Probably good for Rob. Get this done.
Oh, and Nico's gone off track. And Race will now get past down this little straight. Yes, he will. Those hard tires will be quite decent by now.
I can give you some information that we will know that definitely Connor and Rob will have to stop again.
Are they on softs?
They have gone medium.
See, I don't get that. But if they can make it work, they can make it work. Caxton is into the pit. He will probably head on to a set of hard tires. So Nico takes back the lead. Still, she's now up into P7. 4 seconds behind Vicey Boy.
Oh. So we've got the top 3, then we've got 4th, 5th and 6th. We've got Stelcho on the alternate strategy. Been a bit weird. Dan's by himself, and then we're going to have Caxel and Caxel join these guys in a little bit because he's just pitted on a set of hard tyres. So good news for Rob. He's got a bit more space now over D Summers because he's now got Lanky in between him. So hopefully now he can crack on with his race and settle into his own pace. Lanky undercut D Summers. There you go. That's proof that the undercut works. It is right there.
Yeah, I think you can even undercut into 3 seconds if you hook up the in-lap. no, the outlap, because the tire is just so bad with grip, and Isaac pits now as well. Uh, Quite slow into the pits, but Ratter take it safe and end up losing time with a 5-second time penalty. Suda 5
Speaking of,
seconds into the pits. Oh my god.
it's like you saw it happen. I knew that was gonna be the case. Interestingly, that the guys on the mediums are pitting onto the hards. I thought they would have done this a little bit earlier, but there you go. Lewis is out there on the hard. So Lewis, Nico, and Dan are the only 3 drivers not to have made a pit stop yet.
Yep.
So Nasuda's lost out a lot. Sorry, Hako. He served 5 seconds for his misdemeanors on the first lap. He's then gained that 5 seconds back. So completely and utterly pointless.
That is true. And
But
if you look at the gap between Nico and Racer, it is getting quite big through the second sector. So the tires are definitely dropping off, as you see the ripple of Ashton Army getting out the way for everyone.
wait, that's fine.
So Nico, that rear is really loose on the ripple.
Luckily, the detection point is a little bit earlier on, so he's managed to hold on to it, list up. I think that's what he's just trying to do. Try and stay out as long as he can with the DRS.
Yeah. Definitely.
Lewis's gap to Stelcho, interestingly, 14.2 seconds. It's stabilised actually a little bit between those two.
I think those tires have hit the first phase by now, so the grip advantage isn't as big as you'd think. That is a thing with this game.
I can't wait to see what Lewis and Dan do. Their second stint, what that's going to be like in terms of the tyre swap, and they'll be on the better tyres compared to everybody else. Should be very interesting, as Isaac's now caught up to the back of the Alfa Romeo. Will he be smarter than Stelcho here, or will he be just as aggressive? I'm hoping it's going to be the first one. That'd be a lot easier.
Being smart is really important in around Mexico, because you might lose a bit of time in the third sector. Oh, he is getting past right away, but it was a bit cleaner than when Stelcio did it, so he might even get the gap, because there's no rear grip on those hards on Dan's car.
Ako.
Race is in.
Yeah, Nico isn't.
Stelcio's staying out.
Nico's not in. Having said that, neither is Dan, as Caxel's also now going to go past him as well.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, the mediums are the race tire around here, so they can go quite long with quite stable pace. We've seen that by Stelcio. His pace has been quite decent, but Racer will get. He will be in traffic now as well. So Caxel got past Dan.
I was going to say, if I'm being honest, I don't think the car in front of him is going to be too difficult, if I know these two well enough. What interestingly, in terms of Dan's race, is that he's now saved his battery all the way back up to 92% again. So I think we're going to see a very banzai last few laps from that Alfa Romeo. Wiseboy under pressure, because we've got a bit of a cluster here between Almanac, Wiseboy, Mons, and the Su's just dropping off the back of these.
Yeah. And Racer staying behind.
Nico in on the soft tyre. Wow, okay.
That's aggressive.
Brave.
It's really aggressive, actually.
And Lewis is getting past Dan.
And he's getting past Nico as well.
Yep, and Lewis, that's probably good, because he's going to have a car now in between himself and, well, the person he was racing for. They are 4.5 seconds behind Isaac, so that's how much Isaac's managed to get that undercut to work in 3 laps. And
Indeed
Stelcho,
is.
well, he's going to pit again. It's just going to be how much traffic he's going to be in. And I reckon he's going to be about, at the moment, in 11th place. And he pits again.
And Nico hasn't gotten past Dan yet. So his outlap will actually be wasted a bit on those soft tires. Because
Look at the gap, by the way. 2.4 seconds between Dan and Lewis on that lap. You say he's going to be wasted. He's still pumped in a purple sector. I'll sort that out.
So, Racer, fastest lap of the race. He's trying to catch up to Caxo up ahead. Almanac is in a fight with Vicey Boy now. They will be heading down towards turn 1. And Vicey Boy will take the... Oh, Rob's retired into the pits.
Oh, Rob! No! What happened?
I think it's all the time penalties.
He's probably hid them away from me.
So, Almanac has now been passed by Vicey Boy. And Nico has caught up by a second or so to Racer because Racer is stuck behind Caxel. But so as well, Nico will be stuck as well when it comes to it. Oh,
I tell you what, there's going to be some tyres out there that could be crying at the end of this race.
oh, Starstress into the pits. Nico has gotten DRS, but he won't get past down towards turn 1.
I know, but we're going to see Lewis get past Caxel potentially here. Ferrari to the outside of turn 1, and we get it done.
Yeah, that's a good move by Racer on the straight. He's got the tires as well to brake late, and Nico will now be stuck behind. He's on the soft tires, and he will try and make the move happen quickly, because he will need to use those the first few laps he's on them. Dan is in, and he's coming out the pits on medium tires. And look at Racer, he's almost caught up to Isaac as well now. He has caught up, to say the least. And Caxo is following suit.
Yeah, let's hope he's not pushed too early. That's my fear with tyres around here. Let's hope he's not pushed too hard too early. Let's see what Nico does, because I hope for his sake it pays out. But I have my doubts here, Hako, about the soft tyre.
I mean, he might be hoping for a safety car, a late safety car here, but he will get past Caxo on the straight. No reason for Caxo to defend because the move won't be there. And Racer is down the inside into turn 1. He had the DRS and he had the tires to make it happen. He's on the softer compound when Isaac is on the harder, and he will now try and make the gap. Almanac making the move on Vicey Boy into P5. Again, those guys are fighting, and Nisula is right behind with his 13 seconds of time penalties. And look at Racer, he's already made the gap.
We've not talked about time penalties because we've still got a third of this race left. But it's going to be, they're definitely going to play a massive role in the finishing positions. That's fine, it's just Ashton get out of the way. Doing what a back marker should do. It's just moving out the way sensibly.
Nico and Isaac. It's very close racing between the two.
Having said that, can't be too patient because Caxel now is.
Look at the rear of that Red Bull. It's already loose.
So is the AlphaTauri behind him. It wasn't a great exit from Caxo either.
Yeah, and Race has got a 3 second gap now. It's been cut down to 2.5 now because of DRS. But Racer will have the better tires for longer. That's the thing. Isaac gets a 3 second time penalty. And Caxo will be hunting him down now. Weiseboy and Almanac fighting again. Nisula is getting in on the action. He's cutting the inside. Oh, and he's lost the rear 4 times in the span of 2 seconds.
It's because he got on the grass on the inside, and well, dirt and tyres is not a good equation. Last time I checked, and I'm like so wide through turn 7.
And look at Stelzio now. He's on the faster tires. He's now gonna make the move on Munch when he gets the chance to. And we know Stelzio is an aggressive driver, so he will make it as soon as he can. Isuda's got another 3 second. He's got another 3 second.
Because he's literally straight line in the corners. That's why.
Okay. What the fuck is he doing?
I would also like to know what.
I think he's retiring in the pits.
I hope he decides to. Then be very sensible.
And Isaac
we go.
ahead of Caxo.
That's very disappointing because he was actually still in the points. But there you go. We move on. Top 10 now. That means Lanky and Dan can move up, and Dan is approaching the Ferrari. And Lanky makes that very easy.
And Weiseboy and Almanac fighting. Weiseboy gets the switchback on to Almanac. He will make it work, and he's now up into P5. Those guys are still fighting. I mean, they've been fighting the entire race.
Just how much it's affecting Almanac. Not just this race, but you think in terms of the championship. We haven't mentioned that this evening for a very long time. It does getting very close to the stage where we could see a champion crowned next week.
Definitely. And Nico has dropped back to P4, and Cax is stretching it out a bit between him and Isaac. And Nico will be using the DRS to try and get past. He should still have the faster tires, but they won't be faster for much longer. That's the thing. So he's gonna struggle on tires soon. And he will probably try and get past Kexel here as well. Yes, he will. Kexel on the inside, no yes. Side by side through both of them. Oh my god, a bit of contact. So that is Nico ahead.
I've just done some number crunching. Almanac needs to make sure that he scores this evening.
And so
if he
far
doesn't,
he is.
if he doesn't, and Lewis wins the race as it is, it's all over, folks. Because Lewis will have a 79-point lead with 3 races remaining, with 78 points on the table.
Yeah, Almanac has been quite unlucky. The second half of the season. Kexel now out of DRS of Nico, and he will now be under threat from Isaac.
Yeah, I'm fearing for Nico's race here. It could unravel very quickly.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he'll finish 4th, but I think it'll be a painful finish.
And then again, Isaac still got the 3 seconds, so if he can keep it clean, he might be able to.
Hopefully, he should be alright because Weisbu's holding that Almanac, and Weisbu's got 6 seconds worth of penalties. So, fingers crossed, should be alright. Don't worry.
Stelzio's now catching up.
Well, he's been quietly going about what he's doing. Dan the same, but all that squabbling in the first stint and the bit of the second third of the race has kind of ruined their chances of being in the top 5 or 6. But Stelcho will definitely have a chance to finish 5th.
Yeah, should
This
be
is
able
where we
to.
got to be smart and just wait.
He is being
You
smart
see-
about it, to be honest.
He is this time because you can see the back end of that AlphaTauri really struggling.
Yep, he's making him go defensive
Yeah,
to make the move easier.
Yeah, Almanac's not really going to fight it. He knows he's just going to keep up with Wisey Boy. Having said that, he is trying to fight it a little bit. To the outside does the AlphaTauri go, but the McLaren holds him off. Let's see if Stelcho can try and chase down Isaac and Caxel, shall we? With just over 6.5 laps to go.
Yeah. I mean, Nico is still going strong on those offs. He's barely lost to a race. He's actually gained 3/10. And they should be dead by now, which is impressive. Oh, Stelcho is right behind. Oh, and he's gone off track there as well. So a bit of a mistake by the McLaren.
Oh.
I don't think he meant to send it. I think he tried to defend from Almanac. On the outside he goes, and Almanac touches his rear, and now it's a bit. Looks like the
I fear for Wisey Boy here.
And I mean, Stelcho should have this move easily, as Isaac is fighting with Caxel down towards turn 1.
Oh, I wouldn't have stuck it back in there. I would have just waited and set him up again.
Yep. Almanac and Wisey Boy fighting again. As Stelcho goes past, he will make a gap quite easily, I would assume, on those medium tires.
Yeah. Almanac's probably sick and tired of seeing an Alfa Romeo just around him all race.
Yeah.
Probably just shut up with, go away, leave it alone. No more.
And Caxel is staying behind Isaac for now. I mean, thing is, Caxel doesn't need to fight Isaac that hard. He just needs to stay behind and save his ERS, because Isaac is out of it.
But if he's not, if he doesn't feel Isaac's quick enough, then he may feel like he's going to be too far away for if and when Nico's softs do hit the cliff in a bad way.
But he's still gaining on Racer, so
he is.
That's the thing.
But I have a feeling that Ferrari's very comfortable out there at the moment. Just have a suspicion.
Yeah. Most likely will be. And Almanac and Stelcho will be fighting again. Caxel gets ahead of the Mercedes. It will now be into P3.
Wisey Boy is going to go back past Almanac again.
For the 100th time this race.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and Almanac down the inside of turn 2. That is
I know
dangerous.
We're joking about this in terms of it's quite funny. This is very important for the Constructors' Championship with the way things are standing, because a strong performance from so Ferrari currently scored 26 points. AlphaTauri going to score 23, and Alfa Romeo are going to score 12, which is going to move them. Sorry, not 12. 10, which is going to move them out of contention, because it is between AlphaTauri and Ferrari, really. 17-point gap before the race this evening.
Yep. And Caxel getting DRS from Williams, so he will have an easier time getting away from Isaac, because Isaac is struggling on battery and Caxel isn't. And I mean, the gap Nico has gotten is quite impressive. 6 seconds by now. And Almanac and Wisey Boy fighting again. Oh my god.
Dan's just made the move on Mons. Yeah, he has. Dan has just made the move on Mons. So up to P8. Who's done the most moves? Shock, I would have thought. Dan. But in terms of meaningful positions, Caxel's made up 5. He's the second highest. So from 8th to 5th to 3rd on the grid.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Sitting on the podium. Realistically, he's got a 3.5-second gap. We're being honest about this.
Yep. Definitely is. So, Vice Boy and Almanac will fight again down towards turn 1. And will Isaac go for the move on Caxel? He most likely will. Yes, down the
Here
inside.
we go again.
Mercedes goes. No, he won't. He stays behind for now. Might try to set up the exit to get past him now. Both are
Go to the
blinking.
inside late. Oh no, he's not. He's stuck behind him.
Oh my god.
Oh, they've not changed position. Unbelievable.
Someone who are changing is Isaac and Caxel. Or at least Isaac was trying. Got pushed a bit wide and off the track he goes. So, Vice Boy and Almanac fighting again. I mean, it's insane. They've been stuck right behind each other entire race. And if Caxel and Isaac fights a bit more, I mean, Socio has been gaining quite a bit on those two. He might even have a chance of getting within the 3 seconds of Isaac.
Yeah, he may get Isaac. He's got 3 laps to do so. I wondered why that gap came down to 2.5 seconds. Nico's drained most of his battery. Lewis has got a little bit more left. 2.6 seconds for our leader as Isaac and Axel are fighting again. And they're going to go side by side through all 3 of those corners, which is then going to slow them down.
Even more. I mean, look at Stelcio. He's going to be very happy with all the fighting going on here. He's gained almost a second in the first sector alone.
How's he doing for battery? Also a bit better than these guys. Almanac and Wisey Boy.
Down the
Wisey Boy
inside.
down the inside. Oh, bit of a slide.
Oh, Almanac is
he's gone. He's going to get him. Oh, yeah. Dan's sliding about as well. There's a lot of sliding rear tyres I'm seeing the last couple of laps.
Yeah. You will be struggling on the rears. I mean, it's such a difficult circuit because of the low grip. I mean, look at Racer now. He's stretching it out again.
Oh,
Stelcio's only gained the second this lap.
Caxel's made a mistake and dropped quite far back behind Isaac towards the end of that lap. So he's had to use ERS to catch up. Gap. I think it's going to be too much for Stelcio, so if he's going to make a move, he's going to make it now. Would you like to know about the Almanac Wisey Boy fight?
Yes.
Almanac has overtaken Wisey Boy. Dan has arrived on the scene. He's taken his time. He's joined the battle as well, and Mons isn't too far behind either. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I've just had a look, and Mons is the only one underfueled as well. And Piney's going to go and steal the fastest lap off of Nico. Oh, off of Nico. That's going to be...
Almanac is off track. Oh, Vice Boy's lost his front end plate.
He has that time.
Yeah. Almanac broke for some reason. Started braking. And look at how much grip he's lost.
Oh, someone just picked up 3. So not another one.
Caxel going on to the final lap. Racer is in the lead. He stretched out a gap to Nico again.
Oh, Almanac is really, really slow and struggling. Dan's behind him. Monster's joined as well. He's right there. They're playing games. They're playing chicken for DRS. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? Dan's got it! Dan's got it instead of Almanac! Oh no! And Monster's running out of fuel. This is going to be chaotic as we go down into turn 1.
Oh no.
Oh, Almanac tried to play chicken. Dan won that battle. And it's cost him 2 positions as well.
Oh, and he's gotten a 3
Will
seconds
Geoffrey
as
now
well.
got a penalty.
Oh, and Kaxu is staying close to Isaac, and Racer is going into the last sector now. He has been...
Cax was just overtook him around the outside of 13. That's incredible.
I didn't see that.
Lewis is round the last corner.
And heading up to the line. He will
And we'll
be
take
the
it.
winner. And Piney takes
Piney
the fastest lap. Nico P2.
Fair play to Nico.
Yeah, staying out that long in softs. And Kaxu P3, Isaac P4. Stelzio will be P5. He tried the alternate strategy. It didn't work his favor, but he got very close to getting that P4 as well.
I think I see Dan here finishing 6th.
Yep. And Isaac's...
Oh, don't retire from the session. It means you get bumped down, you grr.
donut.
Yeah, donut. D Summers could lose the position here to Connor. Connor needs a couple of attempts around the last sector to get it done. I don't think he's going to do it. He's going to miss out by half a second. And Ashton. Big step
Staying
up
in the
from
race.
EU4 to EU3. Hey, he stuck to it. Be a good learning experience.
Good practice.
So, especially somebody that's new to league racing. So another 36 laps under the belt.
Yep. Gotta take the experience and take it on with him into next week.
He will.
And we didn't even get to use the new stuff.
No, but it's fine. We got plenty of time to use any new stuff. I was about to say, look at the top 5. They all didn't get a penalty, but Isaac's obviously finished in
P4.
Was that P4? So Lewis, Nico, Kaxel, Isaac, Stelcho, Dan, Almanac, Mons, Wisey Boy, and Lanky would pick up a point. D Summers would be 11th, finished just ahead of Connor in the end, and then Piney and Ty and Ashton all a lap down. However, they all crossed the line and finished the race. Piney stole fastest lap from Nico.
As I am getting the results real quick.
Yes, you scroll through as quick as you can, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, respectfully, don't leave the session before we're like out in the race director. Just makes it more difficult for us. Well, we have to go get the interviews done now. Let's switch scenes.
Yeah, so if you want your next dose of constant speed racing, you don't have to wait long. Only a few hours before you get to see AM3 race around Mexico, 9 PM Eastern, 2 AM UK, and 3 AM Central European time. Then, if you want the next European action, you think, oh, I need more European times, it suits me a bit better. You can laugh at me and Hako tomorrow. We make our attempt at Mexico, and I guarantee you it will be raining because it's EU2, and at the moment we always seem to get the rain, and it's not fair. I'm putting my protest down now. And then we share our nights with AM2, EU1 on Thursday, and AM1 also on Thursday.
Hello.
And then next week, if Tuesdays 9 p.m. UK is the time where that suits you the best, and that's where you want to be to watch EU3, you can do. These guys are racing at Shanghai next week for the first time in a long time that we go there, and we're going to go and race. So it should be fairly exciting. I think they're all here, Hako. So I will shut up and let you do what you need to do.
Yes, I mean we're only missing Racer. No, talk about the man and he's here. Um, so let's start with Caxel P3. Tonight you started P8. You gained 5 places in the race, and you had an insane battle with Isaac at the end. How did it feel making the places and then having such a close battle as well?
Yeah, my goal today was podium, but because of the fight that me, YZ, and now Manak was doing, it was more P4. Then when I saw I undercutted Racer and Nico, I was like, okay, this could be a P2. And then because Nico also boxed for soft, so I was waiting for those tires to fall off the cliff. Somehow it didn't, which I thought was amazing how he conserved those tires. But I'm really happy with the P3. Me and Isaac had a really good battle. Obviously that he had loads of oversteer into the S section, so I took the opportunity. I had to lift off a bit, then went round the outside turn 13 to make the move complete. And I wanted to do it on track just in case he got it removed or not. But overall, it was a nice race, and I want to say well done for everyone's race today. Kept it a bit clean. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The hard tires. When you did the undercut, did you think they would hold on as well as they did, compared to everyone else who would be boxing quite a bit later?
To be fair, the deck was incredibly high. I was on 30%, 8 laps in to the race on the mediums. It was monstrous. The hards, I thought boxing a lap earlier would help. It kind of did, got me back in the race, but it just kept falling off so quickly. The hards, in my opinion, fell off quicker than the mediums, which is a surprise. But somehow I managed to get it through, even though, like for example, Isaac was on the was a lap fresher, so I thought he'd have a little bit of an advantage. But we were just playing DRS games all at the last end of the race.
Yeah, definitely do agree with you. Happy birthday tomorrow as well.
Yeah, it is.
So moving on to Nico, P2. The soft tires at the end. Was that your plan all along, or did you? Was it like a last second just strategy call?
First, I was going for the medium and then the hard tire, but I saw the mediums were holding pretty good, so I decided to go for the softs. I extended my stint like for 3 laps, I think, and I went in pit at lap 21, if I'm not wrong. And then the softs were pretty good as well. If I didn't have a crash on my PC because my PC alt-tabbed, I think I would have got a Racer. I was hoping for this fight, to be honest. That's a bit unlucky.
Yeah, you guys were in a league of your own, quite a bit ahead of the rest of the field. It was quite close in the first stint. Uh, what was your strategy all along? I mean, like in the first stint, was it just saving ERS, or was it just saving tires?
Yeah, I was expecting Racer to go in front of me and then just have the DRS for the whole race, but that didn't happen. So I had to spend some ERS as well. I was trying to save my tires as much as I could. That's what I had in mind.
Well, congratulations with your second place, and thank you for joining, Nico.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. So, heading on to Racer. Do your thing, as always.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the racer debrief.
It was very calm, sir, between
Yeah.
you three at the front.
Yeah, it was really good racing between all three of us. We were in a different, like I say, we were in a different league. I was looking at quali. I already could tell the different downforce levels. and I'd opted for a higher downforce setup. Nico did really, it was awesome what he did today, because both, in fact, he was on a lower downforce setup, and how he was able to keep that speed for the S's was really impressive. Like, especially when the tyres were wearing, because I knew that I'd get the advantage as the tyres wore. It would just help having that higher downforce through that section of the track. But yeah, I went hard to medium, knowing what I was going to do, and I was really happy with that I was able to stick with the guys on the hard tyre. I knew there wasn't much of a difference. The medium was a better tyre, but it wasn't massively better. So I thought, well, this could be interesting. But then I realised Nico was going to extend to go onto the soft. But at the end, he just couldn't hold that pace. But for me, I wasn't going to use my ERS. He had that straight line speed, so if he was going to pass me, so be it. And he wasn't. For me, it wasn't a case of he was much slower at all in that first stint. Really, it was little in it. It was only those last few laps where I had the edge. So I got past him as he went to pit, and then the second half of the race, it was just timing, making the moves at the right time. I knew that when Nico came out, I had Dan Robbo, and I was like, I can't pass him now because I've got the DRS. And then I saw Nico come out on the softs. I felt reasonably confident that he wouldn't be able to make them last. I was surprised at how well he did, because it was only really the last 3 or 4 laps where he was really struggling through the S's. But I got through everyone cleanly. I needed to, and I had that space. I definitely think Nico would have got past me at one point. When I had the gap, I wasn't pushing maximum. I was leaving a couple of attempts in the books. I'm thinking about a championship, so it'd be silly for me to crash, just trying to keep hold of my lead. So I always had a few attempts in the pocket, knowing that at some point his softs are bound to go. But had he not had that issue, it was much closer. He would have got past me, just with the advantage of the softs. And then it would have been a case of me trying to be able to stick with the DRS and then really catch up to him towards the end. It would have been really close. Yeah, I'm really happy with the win. It's really consolidated now a position in the championship where I know I already had the gap, but this track was a bit of a bogey circuit. I didn't really know how I'd be faring, so because it's a track we haven't raced at. So yeah, I'm really happy with the result. It really now makes it a chance for me to wrap up the championship next week. So yeah, another track we haven't raced at in so long in China, which has good memories for me. It's where I got my first victory in Contest of Speed. So I'm really happy to go back there, and also would like to put a tribute out there to Roland Ratzenberger, who died 30 years today. Obviously, Senna's death was overshadowed a day later, but I just thought I'd put that in there as well, a tribute to him, and for that dark weekend. But on a happier note, I'm really happy with the race league and with all you guys commentating, and look forward to next week.
Thank you.
I can just give him a round of applause. It just makes my life so easy, honestly. It really does.
You can ask me questions if you want.
No, we don't need to.
Not today, but like
no,
another
it's a
time,
perfect. It's a perfect debrief. This is what I need. But it makes me. Congratulations, sir, and well, fingers crossed. See what happens next week, but it could be wrapped up. Okay, we are finito. Done. Finished. Everything.
Yes.
Great.
So, thank you for staying with us tonight. We will see you guys next week for China, where Racer can wrap up the championship, and we'll catch you guys next time around.